All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, guys, we're going to kick it off here with SPY. And guys, I'm just going to say it was a pretty crazy day. Big swing down, not too much of a swing up. We kind of saw a big swing up, but you know, at the end of the day, guys, we saw some pretty intense selling today, so we're going to talk about it. All right, so SPY, I think it's very important to remember that this pullback, yes, a pullback, not a full-on sell, but a pullback, is going to end up being a buying opportunity with all likelihood. This thing just broke out of this cup and handle pattern that took quite some time to carve out here. All right, that is 2 months. You just broke out of it. You are now getting your pullback, and we are expecting further upside after this pullback is complete. You do have a lower wick today. It is not as large as I would have liked to see it. All right, I would not call this a a hammer candlestick. I think it's called like a hanging belt candlestick or something like that. Belt hold candlestick, I think it's called. All right, you kind of held the daily 9, but I'm just gonna say, guys, we still look like we're gonna come down and visit this 560.81 to 565.16 zone. That is what we were looking for. You got this pretty, crazy move over here. All right, yesterday, you put in a hammer candlestick over there on SPY. And, pretty much on any candle or any ticker that you were looking at had a daily hammer yesterday. At least the ones that we cover, you had doji candlesticks or daily hammers suggesting we were probably going to be seeing some upside. What happened today? You fell flat on your face. That is what happened today. All right, but I do just definitely want to remind everyone, buying opportunity is what this pullback is. All right. I'm still looking for the zone right here, 560.81 to 565.16. I would love to see it. Come over here to the 15-minute time frame, guys. We actually didn't even hit oversold territory over here on, SPY's 15-minute RSI over here. We just did not hit it. There is still room to hit it if we see this move down here. And from that point, we'll be looking for a bullish divergence to pop up in the zone. Something giving us a clue that buyers are, looking like they want to step in. And then we're going to wait for that signal for buyers actually stepping in. And then we're going to know, yeah, we have a setup here for a pretty powerful bounce. You're coming back into a key zone there. All right, you're going to have a 15-minute bullish divergence. Maybe we get like an hourly hammer candlestick. You're like, oh my gosh, buyers are actually stepping in here. Maybe we get some boom boom action right after following that setup. All right, so that's kind of how I'm seeing things shape up here. I do actually just want to jump forward to VIX here. And I want to point out, I do think this thing can go higher. And I pointed out right when we were somewhere over here, I was saying, hey, this very well could just pull back to the daily 9. And then we could literally see buyers step back in over here and see it go higher. Now, I know there's no actual buyers over here on VIX. It is directly, correlated with SPX's option chain. We all understand that. And if you don't understand, just know that this thing goes up when SPX puts are bought and goes down when SPX puts are. Let me rephrase that. This VIX right here, VIX, is the volatility S&P 500 index. You can see it right there. This goes up when puts are being bought and calls are being sold. It goes down when puts are being sold and calls are being bought. So, I'm just going to say you still can do technical analysis that is very clear from what we demonstrate, 5 to 6 days a week here on this channel. If you are new around these parts, I do think it would serve you very well to hit that subscribe button and come join our little community over here, because we kind of call the shots on price action on, a variety of tickers over here. We got like 20 of the most actively traded tickers on the market. That is what we cover every day. And, it is with, minute detail pretty consistently and with nice accuracy pretty consistently. All right, please leave a like if you like what you are seeing, guys. I would appreciate it. We can get this video out to more people, and then we can grow our little community over here, guys. And we are so close to getting 10,000 subscribers. We just passed the 9K mark. Just want to let you guys know I love you. All right, I appreciate you guys, and we're gonna keep growing over here. All right, as traders and here on YouTube. Let's get it. All right. VIX moves right up into our supply zone over here. You did get your reaction over here when you came to the bottom of our demand zone, we knew that was our heavily traded zone. It's not always going to be demand, but when we're coming into it from the upside, when you're coming down into it, that is when you're looking for buyers to step in there. Well, we had the hourly RSI being oversold. We had the 15-minute RSI giving us a bullish divergence. What happens when you have that combination? You typically will see a bounce. Now, combine that with the fact that you're in your heavily traded zone, that for every day over the past few years, you know, every test, not every day, every test over the last few years has given you some sort of reaction, and boom, you have a recipe for this. You got above the daily 9. That's where we were expecting sellers originally, but now price is above there. You came back to test that. We were ahead of time looking for, you know, we were saying, you know, there's a probable chance there that buyers at least will hold the line, and you at least dance around there. Now, we never know if you're going to get a full-on move like this, but I'll tell you right now, that is what's happening, and it does look like it is going to be going higher. Here on the hourly time frame, we can see prices just kind of coiling up here. I think it's getting ready for another move up. You know, I would not be surprised to see price over this 2136 zone over there. Okay, so that's fixed. We're going to come back over to SPY just to cover support and resistance. We're going to do that here on the hourly time frame. All right, and like I said, on the 15-minute time frame here, this RSI, you're going to probably see it get into oversold territory. Price comes down here, undercuts this low. We're not even going to talk about this low right here because, you know, technically the next level underneath here is all the way down to 565.16. Because if you revisit here, why is price not going to come test here, guys? Why is it not going to happen? It would make absolutely no sense. So we are going to be, you know, we're going to be running with that little thesis over here that a price is coming down here. You're coming down to 565.16. That is a major level, all right? Expect buy orders there. And if you don't hold there, maybe you come a little lower. But in between 560.81 and 565.16, we're looking for buyers to start stepping back in. Moving on, all right? Resistance, 568.91, 570.93. You could see that here on the hourly time frame. All right, that was the high over here. Above 570.93, we are going to be just watching this golden pocket over here, all right? Now, that is assuming price is going to run up without coming down to break this low, because then we will have to draw a new golden pocket somewhere when we have our low established, all right? Right above 570.93, you will have the golden pocket starting at 571. So I'm just going to say, all right, above 572.60, we're coming up here to 574.71, and then, hey, pull back over. We're either going to consolidate or move higher. That's what we're looking for. And chances are you move higher. QQQ, how we looking? I know we got a lot of lines, but, you know, see where that wick is, guys? It's right in our 478.83 to 480.38 demand zone. That was the exact zone we were looking for. That was the target on the downside. All right, coming into this week, that is all we were looking for. I'm not saying it's going to hold, but I will definitely pat our backs. And I'm going to say, hey, all right.
That was easy.
Boom. Came down to that zone. You did lose the daily 9 here. It's not necessarily looking terrible. I'm not going to say it's looking great, all right? This is the key spot we were paying attention to. This is where you gapped up over here. There's no surprise you held there, but I'm not going to say you're out the woods yet. It looks like, you know, you could definitely start rolling over. And I'm going to point to a bunch of charts in this video that do look like we could keep rolling over here. Get a little bit more downside, okay? Like I said, 20 most actively traded, you know, tickers over here. That is pretty much what we cover on a daily basis. So, you know, if you aren't already subscribed and you are new around these parts, you have no reason not to. You have no incentive. I have no incentive to get things wrong. I have your best interest as my best interest. Oh, look at that. That's a winning equation. All right, let's move on over here to our support. Okay, so if you are to lose 478.83, we're gonna watch 476.53 and then 470.83. Now I don't have it on the chart, but just for your visuals there, the visual effect, I got you. Golden pocket is going to start down here at 565.50. That is what we are paying attention to. A 570.83 right here cannot hold. I'm not saying it's not going to hold, but I am pointing out that is, you know, if we come down here, we're probably coming down here, right? Around here is around the 50% retracement. And then if you really come all the way back down here, what would that be? A back test of your downtrend that you broke out of. Okay? And you really didn't go too far here since breaking out. I thought you'd kind of, you know, speed things up. But at the end of the day, we know this pullback is a buying opportunity because you already got above your 0.786 Fibonacci. Ha! Gotcha. I was running out of A's there. I found one. Found one there, pulled it out of my back pocket. All right, guys. If it does pull back, I think it's still going to look good. That's what I have to say. Okay? You found buyers over here before the golden pocket, or it was right at the golden pocket. Come on, you stupid magnet. You stupid magnet, eh? There you go. Yeah, you found buyers right at the golden pocket. All right, and NQ actually hit it. I know you found buyers right above it there. But that would be the equivalent of us coming right back down here. You know, it would not be something that we haven't seen many times before. QQQ and SPY, love these golden pockets. QQ was really strong over here, so we didn't see it. But, you know, just to demonstrate this guy, you know, you could do these on all time frames. Okay, we'll come over here. We'll come like that. We'll go like that. What do you have? A golden pocket test, and that's all she wrote. And you had a giant bull flag. And that was all she wrote. That was when Permabull Henry came to life. All right? It was kind of over here when Permabull Henry came to life. Somewhere over here, then we were like, there's going to be this buying opportunity. And then this is when he really came to life. And we were like, you know what, guys? We're in a bull market. Every dip is kind of just going to be a buying opportunity. That's when I made the mental switch. I was like, you know, odds are going to be on your side if you just can buy time and just ride these waves. And I'm just telling you guys right now, we're seeing one of those waves about to ride higher. We're in this phase right here, and people are going to lose their freaking minds. We're not going to lose our minds, all right? I got real pissed at price action today. It was pissing me off. But at the end of the day, I did something I shouldn't have done. Well, I'll give you a brief little thing over here, all right? So we're long, eh? We're long. I warned the Discord of this. I literally was so freaking prepared to take all profits right here, okay? All of them. What'd I do? I did, all right? And then I re-entered with micros instead of a mini. And I was like, then I just got absolutely, boom, all right? It was like right here, minus 50 points within like, it was like 20 seconds, it felt like. I was like, Jesus, what has happened? Along like 4 micros or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stay out of here. So I was just, you know, feeling real good. And then, you know, I gave a lot of it back right there. And I was like, why'd you do that, buddy? Why'd you do that? All right. And then we stayed out. And then, you know, we caught a little bit of this. And, you know, just public service announcement. If you don't know what you're doing right here, okay, wait for a break of structure. You have a high rate here. Okay, maybe it aligns with the retest of this 2-minute 9 EMA. Someone asked in the comments, what is your edge? All right, I'm going to say my main edge. We wait for the break of structure. Another example is right here. I actually took this on the 3-minute time frame, though. It was right here. All right, wait for your break of structure. Wait for your 2-minute or 3-minute 9 EMA test. And that is right there. That is going to be your first edge. Okay, that is your, well, the first pop-up of my edge. You have now a trending move starting up. You wait for the retest. I back-tested this too many times. I'm just telling you guys, yeah, first 1 or 2 times, you typically always get these 5 to 10 really quick point, you know, moves. And a lot of the times, if you get a nice move like that, you're catching like a 20-plus point move. Okay, for example, within, you know, 6 minutes here, this is on a 2-minute time frame, you had a minus 27-point move. Your entry was right here, okay? Maybe you're like, oh my God, oh I'm down $100. Well, then it goes in your direction. You're like, oh, thank Jesus. And then it really starts going in your direction. You're like, oh, now I remember. You just take it because you've back tested it, okay? You know, someone was asking that. Another example could be seen right here, okay? You started breaking above structure. You had a high. Okay, and I use, you know, 2-minute and 3-minute time frame. I like that. I kind of swap between 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, and hourly. And, you know, it really does. The market does move in waves, guys. You break that structure, you start in another one. With, you know, it's not always going to be perfect, but you're normally going to be starting another one, okay? And then when price is above the 5-minute 9 EMA, all right, your pullbacks to the 2-minute and the 3-minute 9 EMA are going to be your long opportunities, your pullback opportunities, or if you are short, there are going to be your shorting opportunities right there. Okay, I understand right here. You see it, got above the 2 minute. You're like, oh, Henry. Well, what happens when you just switch to the 3 minute? Oh, it gave you a perfect entry. So when you're really feeling like, oh, price is making like 10 to 20 point swings every freaking 30 seconds, let me make sure I get the exact perfect entry. I pull out the 3 minute chart and I go off of that one because, as you could see, it kind of tends to happen. And as you could see right here, you leave it alone. Oh, price gets sucked back down underneath. Well, now you can take more entries, okay? It's typically gonna, you're gonna find the opposing side at this 5 minute 9 EMA. All right, it happens pretty consistently. That is your line in the sand. That's, I look at the golden pocket, 0.786 fib. That's your line in the sand. All right, guys, I know I'm boring some of you guys. I understand. Someone just asked me a question. I thought I'd just go over, that is my main scalping edge. I'll say right there, okay? I like combining these things with patterns and like, things I see. Golden pocket test, but at the end of the day, you wait for the structure break, you wait for that first retest, and you're there. And a lot of the times it aligns with the break and retest. And, a nice example of that is going to be right over here. You got above here. I don't have the line up there. Just to make it more clear for you guys, you broke above. Okay, you broke above. You're above the 5 minute 9 EMA now. Well, now what do? You're not just longing up here because guess what? You're freaking above by 25 points. I told you, the edge does not come from buying up here. It comes from buying right where the reaction most of the time happens. And even if it fails, you typically will see 5 to 10 points right off the bat. That is what I typically see most of the time. Sometimes, guys, the price is pretty crazy, and you see, it just flushes 20 points. You just get stopped out. It is what it is, okay? It is what it is. But the vast majority of the time, you at least get those 5 to 10 points. So I like just taking those 5 to 10 points, put in my pocket, and wait for the next one. But, a lot of the times, you can catch massive moves with this right before, like, literally right when they're starting. And this is an example. It's a break and retest right off of here, 19.8, 77. And then what happened? All right, price was retesting the 5 minute and the 3 minute 9 EMA here. Okay, there you go. Perfect entry is down here off the break and retest, and now you risk that. Okay, and then boom, there you go. Okay, the rest was history. And from your ideal entry, which was right over here, what happened, guys? That is 9 minutes. That is almost 70 points. That is like 1.3K right there. So there you go. I hope that helps you. I know it's going to help some of you guys. I know it's boring some of you guys, but at the end of the day, it's definitely going to be helping people. People don't know what to look for. And if you're just looking at a screen, I understand you're going to pull triggers. You got to know what to look for. You got to know what to wait for. You got to have your edge. And you don't trade when there's no edge. You just don't do it. All right. We're talking swing trading. That's a different story. Okay. There's different rules. When you're actively trading, I think you got to have rules or you're going to get your back blown out. And no guy wants to get their back blown out. Boom. Okay. All right. Let's move forward. I forgot what ticker we were on. I know I got distracted. I know. I understand. Okay. I do think we are still on the indices though, over here on QQQ. Maybe. All right, guys. So support. I'm going to, just run through this quick. I know we got a little off track there, and now we're at the 18-minute mark, and we're only, 3 tickers in. I get it, okay? I still think it's more valuable than, off topic there. I think it'll help. We literally are all traders. All right? Maybe some of you guys are long-term investors, but I think these videos, the majority of the population these videos attract, going to be traders. There we go. Okay, support, you're watching 478.83, 476.53, and 470.83 down there. As resistance, you have 482.92, 485.54, 488.41, and 490.73. Now, I'm not saying we get all the way back up there just yet, guys. That would be a pretty big move. 2%, move in one day. That's kind of crazy. But then again, Mr. VIX, we're going to come over to Mr. VIX. You are up around the $20 mark, and that's where volatility begins actually coming back into the market. All right, you get up to, I saw stats on this one time. You get up to like the 30 mark, you can literally just expect intraday 2.5% moves or so plus. Okay, you get up here, you can really expect some crazy crap to go down. All right, the higher VIX is, the more volatility. All right, Monday, August 5th. You guys want to see what happened to the NASDAQ? All right, you know what? Yeah, we'll use NQ for this one. What the heck is that? What the heck is that? That's minus 6%. That's what happens when VIX spikes, guys. More volatility comes into this market. That is that. All right. But back over here to QQQ, guys. Again, we got a decent look going on. But just, you know, be patient for now. I'm going to show you some charts now that do suggest we can definitely see some more downside. IWM. I want to remind everybody, if this fails right here and it comes down here, it's not a bad look at all. All right? Not a bad look at all. You literally have the top of this multi-year range here, and you're consolidating above it. Guys, that is so long. That is over 2 years right there that you consolidated in a range, and now you consolidated in, you know, right there. You're still in that consolidation. You're waiting for that actual move up. All right, that's $35. Am I doing that right? Yeah, we'll come over here. We'll say here, top of the range to here. Maybe it's not even here, okay? We're still going to say the move hasn't been met. That's $25. 40 brings us almost to all-time highs. Okay? Like $2 off all-time highs. We're going there. So just know, even if this thing pulls back, probably not going to make a massive move down. It's probably going to be bought up like that dip right there. Okay? So just know, odds are not that we see a massive move down over here on small caps. And if small caps aren't doing it, the rest of the market's probably not going to do it either. Just my opinion. Okay? So, you know, people think, oh, that was all the upside we saw. We're about to have, you know, oh, now the real volatility is going to begin. Oh, we just had the Fed cut rates for the first time in forever. Oh, market crash. We're going to die. No, we're not. All right. I'm here to tell you, no, we're not. That is not going to happen. Inverse head and shoulders right here. Neckline, retest. Okay. You have the downtrend. That is your neckline. And you are currently retesting that right now. You have swept the 217.55 low from the other day, last Wednesday. And now it does look like, you know, you probably have trapped some people down there. You're open to both ways here. I'm not going to say it looks strong. It definitely doesn't. You're falling. You're just literally, you're hanging off of this mid-cliff fall right here and you get bought up. Fishy. It's either a trap or the bears or, you know what, Paul's just, I don't know. Bears want to take off some risk. I don't know, but I'm going to say it's open to either direction from right here. Doesn't really give us a clue. But if you pull back, do not be super bearish on this thing. If it pulls back to 212.25, that is the big level. Okay? Buyers very likely step in down there for a decent sized bounce. That's IWM. We have DIA also not looking too bad. You have this range going on between 418.50 and 422.78. It really does not look bad, ladies and gents. All right. But again, same as IWM. Who cares if it pulls back, guys? The thing is going to set up nice. Okay. IWM, that move I just showed you down 212.25, that is 2%. Coming down here on DAA is 1.65%. That would be one more down day and maybe another one after that. And we just get bought back up. It's nothing crazy, guys. It's nothing crazy. Okay. Look at SPY. Look at SPY. I'm going to take from right here down to here. Guys, that is 0.5%. People probably also lose their crap because that's yesterday's low. Oh, we're taking out the low. We're going a lot lower. Maybe you do go a little lower. How about the bottom of the range? It's 1.35%. Guys, do not be so leveraged that this scares the crap out of you, all right? This is where you take the entries and then you risk it, okay? So I'm just telling you, that 1.35% move, it should not scare the crap out of you. I just, you know, I literally left in the Discord earlier. I left it saying, I got to remind myself that this is going to be a buying opportunity. Try and find it here. Right here. All right. I don't know if you can see that right there. SPY, I'm going to try my best to remind myself that this is just the back test of the 560.81 to 565.16 breakout zone. I have to remind myself because these daily candles do look rather ugly. Let's see how today closes and go from there. All right. You got, you know, QQQ. If I somehow turn this into a daily hammer candle, then that's great. And, you know, we're going to get the 480 test out of the way. But if not, and it closes out similar to this, guys, we very well could be making our way down to 470.83 and then that 0.61 fib, which is at 465. All right. Luckily, buyers did end up stepping in. We're going to come back over here to QQ. They did end up stepping in. And you don't have the worst look, but you had the absolute worst possible look. And I imagine it would probably go something like that. You would have had one of these bars. And even if you get bought up, it's going to be a back test of the daily 9 right here. And maybe it just prints a doji. And then you continue falling flat on your face the next day. That would have opened us up to something pretty terrible. And, you know, that's why I don't like being right under this daily 9. I'd rather just be above it. All right. Things are nice and jolly above it. But underneath, bad things like to happen. I don't like seeing the bad things happen to Qs over here. But you know what? Sometimes the market likes to take her back behind the shed and, you know, beat her. And that's what's could happen right over here. And, you know, she's going to be all ugly. But in the end, she's going to put on some makeup. And she's going to look all pretty, and somehow we're going to be back up here. We'll be like, what happened? Who beat her up? No one, because she's beautiful. She's back. We're going all-time highs. All right? Everyone's freaking out. Guys, the Fear and Greed Index just hit extreme greed the other day. I saw a post on Twitter. It could pull back. The market could pull back. I don't know what to tell you. I told you the market was probably going to pull back. All right? So let's just be completely real. This is something we shouldn't be freaked out about. All right, now we're going to go over some individual tickers. Again, don't be freaked out about it, but I think we're going lower. Okay. 237.55, you're holding that support right now. That was your most recent breakout level over here. You did not hold that daily 9, so any move up here could very well just backtest that from underneath, and we could continue lower. It does look like you very well could come down here and test that downtrend that you broke. Now, if we just take that, go into over here, we're going to see the golden pocket aligns right here with the test of that downtrend. That is where I like it, all right? Don't you just love when TA looks so clean like this? It looks beautiful. I do too. All right, now moving on over here to NVIDIA. What do we got going on, guys? A pretty ugly look. We did test our almighty 118.04 level that we were saying, you know, is kind of just in the mix of things, but it does definitely get our reactions. We were looking for that decent reaction. We got the reaction, and I know you're back underneath it, okay? You look like you're coming down to 113.22. It's not looking the best, okay? Daily volume, all right? Or daily bearish engulfing candlestick with volume. Mixed up my words there. I said the volume before the candlestick part. All right, guys. Bearish engulfing candlestick. The thing looks like it's going lower. All right. We're watching 113.22 support. And from there, what do you got underneath there, guys? You got this bad boy down here. See how my voice just changed? Yeah, there's some. I keep seeing videos of this person's voice changing that's running for president, and it's actually starting to piss me off. I had a Twitter rant today, guys. If you're not already on the Twitter, go down below and follow the Twitter. You can go see my rant. Mr. America came out today, all right? Mr. Patriot. I'm going to be honest, guys. I grew up in a you know, I just remember being so aware that this was the land of the free and the brave, you know? I was such a patriot growing up. I wasn't, you know, no hillbilly or anything like that. Nothing crazy, all right? I didn't do anything crazy for it. But I just remember knowing that I, you know, am in this great country. And the other countries are not like this. But this is a great country full of opportunity. And, you know, you just always had this really jolly... I grew up a baseball player. You know, we would, you know... that someone would do the Star Spangled Banner, stuff like that. You know, at school, we'd do the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone was in agreement that America was great, and, you know, we shouldn't be this toxic, negative culture, okay? Now, I'm going to be completely honest. There's no way 5-year-olds, 5 to 10-year-olds are thinking that. There's not a freaking chance, all right? There's chaos in this world. The chaos has got to stop. I'll leave it at that. I wrote out my feelings. Or my thoughts. I guess I was getting a little... I saw a video. I was like, this has got to stop. This has got to stop. This is so blatantly obvious. How does anyone not see it? It makes absolutely no sense, all right? It makes no sense how people are actually still just like, is this real? Is this real? Yeah, it's real, all right? And the person is doing it right in front of everybody. And, you know, the current president is absolutely nowhere to be seen. Where the heck is the current president, guys? All right? Where is Joe Biden? Joe Biden has been nowhere to be seen since this whole, you know, election campaign has started. I haven't heard him. I've seen pictures of him on beach. I saw him put on a Trump hat. Guys, you know, he was a puppet in the White House, and now he got forced out of the White House, and he puts on a Trump hat. Okay? You know, he probably was not too fond of them kicking him out of the way. I don't know what's happening, right? But like, regardless, you have someone with this crazy giggle that I keep hearing, that anytime you ask her a question, she brings up how she was a kid from a lower income family, and you know, and like, it's just annoying at this point. We need someone that's not gonna lead the world into chaos, and that is that. Okay, rant over. We're going to move on. I'm not a political person, so just understand that. I'm literally not a political person. I don't even want to go vote, because you know what? I don't even want to go vote. But this time around, I feel the need to vote. And I'm like, you know, but at the same time, I know, you know, if one side wins, the system is either rigged or everybody has lost. The majority of America that I just described in such a patriotic manner. I'm so fond of this country. All right, the majority of America either has lost their critical thinking skills and cannot see clearly and think clearly for themselves, or it's rigged. It's one or the other, but you know, it's got to stop. Moving on. All right, moving on. You could clearly see my opinion there. Okay, it's showing through. I don't try and bring them up. But at the end of the day, I am human, and sometimes I do want to talk, and that is that. All right. But at the end of the day, guys, markets are going to be completely fine. That is that. Yeah, markets will be completely fine no matter what happens. But, you know, it's a genuine thought that if one side gets elected, you know, my hometown's going to go to crap over here. And they've already shown that they're not going to be doing anything about the things that they have been doing, all right, to jeopardize towns and stuff like that. Like, they're not helping out. Okay. So what if this happens on a mass scale over the next 4 years? And then we're all screwed. And then one side's going to say, I told you so. And then in reality, everyone's just going to be fucked. Fucked, boys. Okay. Moving on. NVDA, guys. All right. You come pull back into here, you probably do get bought up. You at least get a dead cat bounce. You probably sweep this 113.22 low, come down to 111. That's going to be your 0.618 fib. And right around there, guys, you are going to have your uptrend here. And then you could put in that third touch point, and then we have an actual official uptrend, a trend line there. You need 3 touch points to make a trend line, to make a trend. I guess that's the saying. You have a 1, you have a 2, you have a 3. All right. Well, now we're going to need that. And once that does happen, we're going to have this pennant here, and it's going to explode one way or the other. We don't know which way it's going to go, but it's definitely going to be setting up for either direction from that point. Okay. But regardless, we look for buyers down here. They probably step in. Resistance is going to be 118.04, 120.79. AVGO. Okay. Where are we, guys? You see that arrow? Well, what if we just hit control and drag this over here? And now we have 2 arrows, okay? Guys, you are, oh, you want a third arrow? There you go. You are backtesting your downtrend that you broke out of. This does not look terrible. But I am also going to say price still needs daily 9. I did already give my reminder earlier that, guys, bad things do not, you know, bad things do happen on the daily 9. Good things do not happen on the daily 9. And that is what we have right now. You are right at 166.85 support. That is, you know, the zone here that we are paying attention to. You have this massive double bottom look to you over here. This whole thing we're looking at as the neckline, all right? I do think at the end of the day, this is going to be bought up, whether it's here or whether it's down here, whether it's a little lower. I think you're coming up to this all-time high, and you're going to break above 185.16. But for the time being, guys, all right, we got to watch, you know, what happens in the short term here. Because, you know, price can hold right here, then it creates your buying opportunity, all right? What if we come down here, we print like a green hammer candlestick? That'll be real sexy looking, all right? And you'll be like, yeah, dude, we could see buyers want it. We could see them real bad. But, you know, like I said before, I'm going to show you some charts that suggest we definitely can go lower. So, patience will pay. I was just, as I was ranting to you guys, you know, or with you guys, but I don't know how you guys think, okay? I have no idea. Let me know down below. I'd love to hear some opinions. Get it going. I was playing with this Patience Pays bracelet that I wear. And honestly, guys, I don't think it's the worst idea if you go get a bracelet and put a nice little saying on it like that too. Because it honestly has been a good reminder. All right? But backtesting that downtrend, I like it. AMD, what's happening, guys? This 153.64 to 157.05 zone, that is what we are paying attention to. Again, you also have that double bottom look to you right here. It does look like you could get bought up right here, which would be right here. And then you could go like that. All right, you have a big downtrend there, and let's just take the green stuff off, and we're gonna come over here to the weekly time frame. What are we gonna do? We're gonna control and drag that guy right there. All right, and you have a massive bull flag going on. You're just consolidating right here. See how you're in between your downtrend and where you just broke out from. Things are gonna get tight here, and I think you're gonna be getting ready for a big move up. That's how I'm seeing AMD right now. All right, but you know, expect buyers down here, right here. You're right on the daily 9. Come down here. I doubt buyers do not step in the zone. That is my thoughts. If they don't step in the zone, then you're watching this low right here at 148.01. MU, guys, it's coming into that big 97.69 spot we were paying attention to. All right, that is, you know, a level that's given us some reactions here. Now, let's just say we took that off. Okay, take that off. Where are we actually going to be paying attention to on here? Because it does look like you're probably going to test this if you don't hold right here. Okay, right here, 96.18. That is the level we're going to be paying attention to. Now, the actual breakout level, which was the top of your base down here. All right, you based out, you ranged out, whatever you want to refer to this as. All right, it's 91.47. That is where if you can't hold this daily 9 right here, you have risk down to, and that would also be a downtrend retest. That is where I absolutely, definitely love this thing. Okay, but you know, as of right now, I think, you know, if you buy a lot of time, you're going to be really good. But I can't tell you, you know, there's a setup to go off of right now. If you come down here, you have a downtrend retest as well as, again, I just told you this was your base, the top of your base here, range breakout. That's going to be a good key spot to go off of. Okay. ARM, ugly look to you. Ugly, ugly, ugly look to you. There's no denying it. Okay. You came right into our 135.41 level. Now, what I do want to remind everyone is we have this, okay? This 135.41 level also happened to be where, also, let's just make that right there. Now it's perfect. It also happens to be the top of this little range we had and then broke down from. Now, chances are we're going to find buyers if we test the top of this thing, okay? So maybe you come down here, put in like a hammer candlestick, and you get bought up at the end of the day, and that would also be a, you know, uptrend test right here. You could test this again. The whole 3 touch makes a trend line thing. That would be your 3rd touch. Oh, there we go. How does that look actually? That doesn't look bad. We'll do that. But yeah, guys, I expect buyers right around here. If you can't find buyers right around here, I'm just going to say coming down to this level right here. Okay. And we're going to have that right there. And your golden pocket is going to be right over here. But then you would break this uptrend. You wouldn't want that. So, you know, ideally, you put in like a hammer over here. You find buyers, signs of life, right around this uptrend. TSM, also not the best looking chart. It looks like it can go lower. You just broke that uptrend. Not looking ideal. You know, saw this yesterday. Not looking ideal. I'm just saying, you got underneath the daily 9, and now you got continuation with the bearish engulfing candlestick. It didn't have, you know, crazy volume or anything like that, but you also broke down from this uptrend, and it does definitely look like you could come lower down to 166.36. All right, in the end, you're watching this right here, 166.36. If you cannot hold 163.17, you have that 156 low to watch right there. Oh. Didn't want to do that. I wanted to take that and right over here. And I want to just point out around 156.01 is the golden pocket. So, you know, this is your downside risk down here. You probably are definitely going to get a reaction down here, at least to something like that. All right. So that would give you, maybe you get trapped in longs and you get that little bounce. Maybe you want to play the bounce because you're not trapped in longs because you know right now it doesn't look good. All right, and there you go. Just a little heed my warning. And yeah, I'm just saying this doesn't look good. I'm gonna point out something that looks great to you guys though, as everything else looks terrible. It's not SMCI. See how all of our drawings up here? That's because this thing became a piece of garbage and now it's worth 40 bucks. Yeah, I know. Fundamentally, the company changed. Nah, I'm kidding, guys. It just had a stock split. All right, had a stock split, still looks absolutely garbage. I'm gonna actually stop talking about this altogether. All right, SMCI, I don't think there's a reason to pay attention to this thing. It gives trap after trap recently, got bad fundamentals. Once I see those turn around, I'm pretty sure they're still just not releasing a 10K. They haven't spoken about it either. That's tragic. Okay, They literally aren't wanting to disclose information. Guys, all of these big companies, they still have good fundamentals. You can't be with one of the big dogs and not have good fundamentals. They, are so scared of those that they don't even want to release them. So for all I know, this thing's going to tank. I don't want it. I don't want to talk about it. So we're not going to talk about SMCI no more. All right. What we are going to do is we're going to come right over here to the big boys. We got the FANG stocks here. Apple, failed breakout, false breakout up here. You stalled out right here. You closed out exactly at 233. Wow. What are the odds? Okay. Almost like an algo product there. And then you got slapped down. You got slapped silly. You had a really big down day over here, 4% at the lows. You got bought up right here at 223.90 support. Now, if that does not hold, we're watching the golden pocket down here, which is going to start at 221.20. Probably, we'll just say 220. Okay, that is what you're paying attention to if this cannot hold. I think, honestly, it's pretty mixed now on what we see from here. I don't know, guys. It was looking really good, and then you get slapped down. Sometimes things just happen. There's nothing we could do about it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's probably coming up here. We don't know if it's going to pull back here before doing that. Microsoft. How is this guy looking, guys? Honestly, not looking the best. It was looking, pretty good. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to turn into a massive hammer. It did not do that. So don't get your hopes up on that. It is probably coming down here to visit this golden pocket. All right, guys. Yes, you held this support right here, but it looks very likely you had a big fat red bar. It was a spillover day out of this, heavily traded zone there. You found your buyers and you faded. All right. You faded the bullish setup that I was thinking was really appealing, and then you faded it. And, at the end of the day, I do think this thing's going to get bought right back up. So keep that one in mind. Over here, you got bought up at your golden pocket, guys. Golden pocket, it's not too far below. And that's why I was, spending some time in the beginning of the video saying, guys, there is no reason to be afraid here. Okay. Like, we were prepared for this. We actually said it was probably coming. Now, I always think things are going to happen so quick. In reality, market likes to grind, baby, grind. Takes its dear sweet time. Okay. I always forget that. Either way, it would look pretty great if you came down here and bounced off anywhere between 413.10 to 416.50. That is going to be the 0.618 fib down to your support over here. This is where you originally broke up from. All right. So that would look great. And then we'd have to come back up here and test that daily 9. Because as you could see, once you test it from the downside, maybe you get sellers stepping in there. That is typically what we see. So, we're going to need to see something like this where you get a quick reclaim and then things will look great again. For the time being, you're probably coming down here. But at the end of the day, probably going to end up here and then above 440. Boom. This pullback equals a dip buy. That is not a dip sell. That is a dip buy. Guys, the overall index looks amazing. QQQ doesn't look as good as SPY, but, I'm still going to say this thing is clearly in a freaking daily uptrend. It pulls back. It's a buying opportunity. It's, you're buying a higher low in your a higher high compared to over here, and then higher low compared to over here, and then you broke up past this high. That puts you in a daily uptrend. Okay, it is very simple. Dip equal buying opportunity. All right, moving on to the actual good-looking one, which I'm still going to say, we could pull back here. We could very well pull back, and you could see 161.63. I'm not saying it looks like it's going to happen. I'm not saying it doesn't look like it's going to happen. What I am saying is no matter what, this thing's coming up here. You pull back, you got an inverse head and shoulders. This is so classic, guys. We see so many times on this channel, right? Pretty continuous stuff. We get a falling wedge pattern breakout, followed by a pullback that creates the inverse head and shoulder, the right shoulder. We see this so freaking often. I don't know if you guys realize it, but, I'm the one going over all these tickers like almost every day. I see this so often across all these 20 tickers. We should just know that this setup leads to more upside. Okay? Look at Amazon over here. What happened? You broke your downtrend, and then you consolidated, and you put in the right shoulder for the massive head and shoulders pattern. All right, inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like, we see this same exact pattern all the time. It doesn't have to be a falling wedge breakout. But, this is pretty, similar stuff right here. You broke out of your downtrend. You pulled back, created a right shoulder. Like, we see, oh my gosh, dude. Why am I seeing them everywhere now? They're everywhere. They're freaking everywhere. All right, moving on. They really are everywhere. All right, moving on. I guess that's just at the end of the day what bullish structure looks like, ladies and gents. So I guess we are going to continuously see them everywhere. All right. Actually, I think at the top of yesterday, what did we see? Right before this thing broke down, I saw it. Oh, maybe it was over here I'm thinking of. Nah, it was over here. I saw Head and Shoulders. Thing looked weak. I remember it. Guys, I'm serious. Yeah, here it is. There it is. There it is. I swear to gosh, guys, you know, if you're not new to the channel, then you do know. I am, you know, I don't like being a perma bull, but I'm definitely always bullish biased. What trading futures has definitely hammered into my head is you make money on both sides. I feel like I've made more money shorting recently off of than longing. I mean, of course, as of today, you couldn't go long as of today. Tried it. Got cream. And then we made it back. It was fine. But, you know, at the end of the day, guys, trend is going to be your friend till the end. All right. Moving on. We got to get through these tickers, guys. We're now at 45 minutes. Sometimes I do just want to talk. It's fine. Okay. You know, I hope you guys enjoy these videos. All right. There's that. Amazon, guys, if it does pull back into 178.90 to 182.39, we are going to be looking for buyers to start stepping in, especially if it starts coming down to 179. That is going to be where you broke up from right over here. I know you have that level. Okay, so like both of these are kind of your breakout levels. This was a smaller breakout that led to the bigger breakout. That is your breakout zone. Okay, you also have 0.618 fib aligning with the bottom of that breakout zone. Very likely that we get buyers stepping in there. All right, so you know, Goog is one to pay attention to there. It can pull back, and it probably will be that buying opportunity for that larger move up to 165 plus. Or not 165, 176 plus. That is your 0.618 fib on Goog. But right over here as well, this is, you know, major, at least this is my top watch in this pullback over here. You had Microsoft, it was looking great, you know, but as of right now, I'm thinking Amazon comes down here. I'm really liking this guy. All right, it looks phenomenal. You got your break and retest going on there. It happens to align with your golden pocket. All right, expect buyers down here for the move up to these gray levels up there, which would be 187.41, 190.60, and then 195.37. Then after that, you're coming back up to 201. You come over here, the weekly time frame, and you know, it got so close to all-time highs here. This pullback is the pullback that's a buying opportunity for the move to all-time highs. That's how I'm looking at this. And that's, you know, what SPY was over here, guys. I was pounding the table on this one because, again, this is when everyone loses their freaking minds, okay? And I have to do my best to not lose my mind. And guess what? Everyone else is losing their mind around me saying, you're permeable. But hey, guess what? It was literally your handle for your massive cup. You got so close to all-time highs without taking it out. It makes no sense that you're not going to go back up there. All right, so that's when we start looking for the pullback as a buying opportunity. There you go. All right, now we come over here to Mr. Meta, guys. Meta is one that, you know, the one that got away up there. It did make a new high today, and it just continues trekking higher. Where was that, guys? 583.04, right? So resistance, we have 577.40, 583.04. Next one is going to be that 590 psych level we're going to pay attention to. You know, this thing's looking like it could pull back here, guys, and maybe it consolidates right around here and then moves higher. Now, hopefully, it gets one really wicked sell day and it comes down here. All right. Why do I say wicked? Honestly, I want this pullback to be over pretty quick. Again, I'm going to speak on what I was saying earlier. I always think these moves are going to happen pretty quick. You know, I could see this thing coming down here. It would probably take a while. All right. Which is why I don't think I'm going to get my buying opportunity because I don't think it's going to take a while. Or I think this thing might pull back over here and then it's probably going to continue on. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So support is going to be 162.35 and 554.19. Of course, if it comes down to 542.81, that is where you broke out from. All right, double bottom neckline. We would love it. Okay, we're probably not going to get it though. The market doesn't want to give us free money. All right, coming over here to Tesla. This is one that absolutely looks phenomenal. Okay, but you know, Tesla is definitely a troll, and I've seen this thing do things like this where you look phenomenal on this pullback, and then boom, it gets faded the next day, and now you're like, crap. Well, I feel stupid. All right. So maybe it's setting up for a bunch of people who feel stupid here about being bullish on this thing. But, this thing printed a hammer candlestick right off of the daily 9, and it swept the 251.53 support, your lows from the other day. That is a recipe for a short squeeze. Okay. So, I mean, you kind of already started that short squeeze since you swept them. But I'm just saying, this thing does look like it can advance. So we're going to say get over that high, 264.86. You're coming to 271. I think now that we're this close, I think it's just going to happen on this next leg up. We're coming to 271. That was ultimately when we got over this 0.786 fib here. That is what we knew was likely. After this day right here, Tuesday, September 24th. Price closed at 254. We knew pullback or not, price was likely coming to 271. That's what the 0.786 fib breaking there tells you. 100% retracement is likely. Now, guys, I'm just going to point this out. Dell, all right? We covered, the main tickers we normally cover here. Now we're going to talk about, Dell over here. Dell's looking like an absolute piece of poop. You just broke down from this thing, but I want everyone to remember this is your buying opportunity. I want to show you this chart right here. You're like, oh my gosh, it was a bull trap right here. You literally swept the high and then pulled back. The pullback was your buying opportunity. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to come over here to Dell because you ripped faces over there on IBM. And just to be quite frank here, I do think that's what the market's going to do after this pullback is done. It's going to rip some more faces. But Dell over here, guys, this is going to be your pullback. You just broke above this high over here. You just got your breakout, and you're like, oh my gosh, no, it's a false breakout. No, guys, no, it is not. This is going to be most likely going to be a buying opportunity. And then we see Dell run back up to these highs. All right. But so far, you're not holding the zone that I was looking for you to hold. But I do just want to reference this IBM chart because, hey, it did rip faces already, and it did have this pretty much exact setup. And before Dell broke out, I was referencing that IBM chart. Now Dell has broken out and it's pulling back just like it's probably going to be that buying opportunity. Now we're going to come over here to Target, guys. What do we got going on Target? Weekly time frame, massive inverse head and shoulders. Okay. You're a long-term investor. You just buy it and forget it because at the end of the day, at some point, it's probably going to break up above here. All right. And then it's going to come to a new all-time high and you're up 70%. And you're like, oh, I'm happy. All right. If you're a swing trader, all right, you're buying the dips down here. Okay. You still want to, make them good dip buys because options do move, no matter what date you have, they move. Okay. You want to be buying around here. Just broke out of that downtrend over there. Want to be buying that dip and you're aiming for 163. Okay. 162.21. If you really want to, look for an exact level there, that's going to be a nice swing right there. And in the end, you're looking for that move up to 167.40. Okay. If you're the short-term trader, guys, you're looking for buyers to start stepping over here, probably around that 148.64 level. That's where I would be going there. All right. And then you're risking 147.40. If price gets under 147.40, the odds are higher now that you are, oh, what did we do? How did I open that screen? I don't know. No idea, but it looked pretty cool. Okay. Odds are you're coming down here to the low, which is 144.67. Okay. So that is, how I'm looking at Target over here on all different, all perspectives right there. I do think this is going to get a higher low in this pullback, and it's probably going to come up here and break that. And then you come up here to 162.21 and then 167.40. That's how I'm seeing this. All right, guys. So we got Bitcoin over here. It's looking like a piece of poop. All right. You broke underneath yesterday's low. You came right down to the next support. We're going to put the golden pocket up here. You probably do end up holding the golden pocket, which happens to align with the next support. You break under 60,670. If you cannot hold that, you're coming down to 58K. Around 58K, you're going to have the 0.618 fib. You probably get buyers stepping around there. And if you don't have them defending 55.5K, you're coming down here back to 52.5K. So, the door is wide open to all these scenarios. But first, we're going to be looking at the bullish scenarios because price is still here. All right. And, we're expecting buyers to step in this golden pocket and to give us a bounce. Then we have to see what happens at the daily 9 when we come back up to retest that. Now, coin over here, I pointed these out as, you know, they were looking good. All right. And then MSTR and coin, they were going to be the focus on this Bitcoin pullback because those are the ones that are actually running with Bitcoin, especially MSTR. Okay. But coin right here is back testing this falling wedge upper trend line here, this downtrend. You had a downtrend break, you have a touch point, touch point, touch point, you have another one, and then you broke out finally. You're now back testing this. I'm going to be completely honest. I think you are going to end up pulling back over here. Coin is looking weak. I am going to be focusing on MSTR, but coin, if you see the daily RSI in oversold territory, this is what you could do right here. All right, you're going to switch this. I don't know why it's always on the bullish diverge. We're going to do crossing here. We're going to make this 30. Okay, and from that point, we can actually just take... Can you? Oh, no. Nuts, guys, nuts. We got to do a different thing. God, I don't have my alert lines on. That means we won't be able to drag them up and down. Regardless, all right? If we get that alert hit, 35, we know, hey, now we're going to be looking to buy coin. You're probably about to have a capitulation style bottom if that gets hit. And then daily RSI being, you know, oversold at 30 is probably going to be our buying opportunity. Okay. Now, it's a little bit different on MSTR. MSTR is the one showing strength. MSTR is probably going to hold this golden pocket if it is tested. Now, right above that, you're going to have this level right here at 143. That was your most recent breakout level. Well, I mean, technically it was right over here, but underneath 152.35, then we have right here. And this is where I think we're going to shine over here on MSTR. All right. Bitcoin starts getting a bounce. And you see, you know, MSTR right around here. Guess what? It would not be a terrible look at all to see a hammer candlestick form right here that holds this level at 143 and wicks down to the 0.618 fib. From that point, I would be looking for a bounce back up to this high. I think Bitcoin is going to get bought up for a higher low here. And then I do think we are going to end up running all the way up here. Why do I think that? All right. Because you already got above your 0.786 fib. I know price did end up stalling out right above it, but the fact that price got above it means you're probably having 100% retracement. This is just, you know, this is logic I've built myself. Okay. It doesn't have to be your logic. I am just explaining my thought process. And that is why I'm looking for a higher low in this pullback. And then I think we are going to head up there to 70K. And at that point, you break out of this massive bull flag here on the weekly time frame, and then you have yourself a big old ride. So we're going to come over to MSTR, and if you buy in this pullback, you probably are buying for that next wave higher, the next leg, wave, whatever you want to look at it as. That's that. You have a massive, you know, range here. This on the weekly time frame. You still have months and months and months here. All right, 203 days. That's like, you know, we're going to say 6-7 months right there. Yeah, 7 months. The thing's going to have a big explosion. It's probably going to be the upside. We'll see. Okay. I do not think it's setting up to be something like that. I just don't. Coming over here tomorrow, piece of crap. That is how we're seeing this. I literally shared my thoughts in the weekly update saying we're not really going to be focusing on Morrow and CLSK because these things have not been running with Bitcoin. And now they're getting to sell with Bitcoin. That's kind of unfair. Oh, well. Okay, so Morrow over here, you are in your golden pocket, but I can't say I am confident that this is going to hold. You think you were coming down here at 13.17. That is that. But you are in the golden pocket. You did sweep that low. So, hey, we do see buyers are starting to step in. CLSK, what do we got going on, guys? All right, you're already underneath that 0.786 fib. Well, you got under it. And that tells us you are probably coming down here. See that increasing volume on this big red bar? And we already got proof that buyers are not holding the line. Yeah, we're probably coming down to break 804. So CLSK, it's very unlikely that this thing is just going to start magically bouncing back from right here. I just don't think it's going to happen. But then again, if we come over here to Bitcoin, you are right on support. You're either going to bounce back from here or probably right here. And I think still probably right here. And that is kind of how I'm seeing the market too. Guys, this isn't much lower. I'm thinking Bitcoin moves with the market here. We see Bitcoin pull back there. We see SPY pull back here, okay? And that, you know, makes everyone lose their minds. Maybe we see this guy actually have a decent-sized pullback, okay, because it's big tech, and that's kind of what big tech likes to do. We see VIX end up spiking. I think it's going to take out this high there. IWM, maybe it pulls back down here. Oh, 2.5%. Everybody lose their freaking mind. All right. But at the end of the day, that's the big 212 weekly breakout level right there. DIA, what happens? All right. It sees, oh, what? A 2% drop to test the weekly 9 EMA right here where you found buyers over here. Okay. And all these other times. And what is it also aligned with? The breakout level at 413.86. You know, guys, everyone's going to lose their mind. In reality, we're in an extreme greed market right now, and that would pull everything back and make everyone go to the other side and be like, oh, no, it's all a false breakout. The bulls are going to get trapped again. Da, da, da. And then we go up. All right. I did just look to my left and see that we are exactly at an hour right now. I'm going to conclude the video right there. I hope you enjoyed our little movie we had going on here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you also just listening to the rant and going past the rant to get to the end of the video. I don't know what your opinions are. I don't like speaking on my opinions because, you know, at the end of the day, every time I do, I lose people. All right. I share my thoughts on Twitter. I lost immediately like 6 or 7 people, you know, followers. And I was like, yeah, I was expecting that. I was like, I don't really care right now, you know. So I don't know what your opinions are, but I appreciate you staying to the end and listening past my BS rant that I had earlier. And yeah. All right, guys, I'll catch y'all on the next one. I hope you guys are killing it. Just keep in mind that this pullback is a buying opportunity. And, you know, no financial advice, but we have to keep that in mind. SPY looks like freaking insane. And, you know, I just pointed out how even if everything pulls back 1 to 2%, everything will look amazing. SPY, QQ, IWM, DIA, they all will look good. Okay? And VIX, it doesn't very often come up here. I don't think we are going to see a market crash right over here. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to keep running this Ponzi scheme for as long as possible. And, you know, I'm pretty sure back, you know, look back at history, rate cuts do not bring a crash right away. They bring it 6 to 12 months down the line or something like that. I don't, you know, I'm not going to say I have looked at that info recently. No, it was years ago. But I'm definitely going to say I'm pretty sure that's a thing. And if we just had a rate cut, market's probably going higher. Market is set up to go higher. That's my thought. Okay. I will conclude it with that. I'm sorry. I had a lot of opinion in today's video. My apologies. I do understand that. My apologies. But with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.